Hey guys, welcome back to the Golden Cloud, and we are going to do the video game tag today because I decided that I don't have enough gaming stuff on my channel and I'm supposed to be the Golden Cloud, which is the Golden Cloud of technology. You know, it's all up there and stuff like that. So I'm going to do the video game tag. So let's get on with it. So question number one is, I have a massive sheet with tons, so I'm going to try and make this as fast as possible because otherwise we'll be here all day. What was your first video game console? My first video game console was the NES. Was it the NES or the SNES? I can't remember. It was color or black and white. I think it was the NES. I'm nearly sure it was. And I absolutely loved it. We actually still have it in the attic, so I didn't get rid of it. But unfortunately, I love my graphics. Yes, I know it doesn't make a game, but to me it makes a game. So I don't tend to play it much. A bit of Mario and stuff like that, but that wasn't. That was SNES more than NES really, but Second question is, what type of game do I like best? Up until recently, it was always JRPGs, which is Japanese role-playing games, which is kind of like obviously Final Fantasy, even Grandia goes in and stuff like that. The only one I didn't like was Kingdom Hearts. Everyone loved that. I hated it. But now I don't know, because there's so many different genres and they all cross over different places, and now you have JRPGs mixed with this and that. And I've started to really start RPG shooters, like kind of like Uncharted and stuff, because it's not a shooter game, but it is, you're shooting all the time, but it's also a role playing game and adventure and stuff like that. I also like Borderlands, which again is the same kind of thing. So I don't know. At the moment, I would say RPG shooters, but that's I don't know if it's phase or if it's just my new thing. I don't know, but I do also love RPGs. RPGs are amazing. Geez, I've been playing RPGs since I was probably about 7 when I played Final Fantasy 7, and Jesus, I still play them all the time. So we'll go with that just because it's an oldie and a safe one, and I still play them. So okay, so this one is the top 3 video games of all time. This is quite easy but quite hard. I know my top 3, which is the new Tomb Raider reboot. I don't hate the old Tomb Raiders, but I don't really like them either, and I never really bothered to finish them. I don't know what it was, but I just didn't like it. But the new one is absolutely amazing. It's actually one of the best games I've ever played. Between the voice acting, the actual acting, the music, the emotion, it's absolutely amazing. It's so well done. Also, I would have to say Final Fantasy 7, because that was just brilliant. It was just an epic game, great story, great characters, everything like that. And my third would probably be Uncharted, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to slightly cheat here. I'm going to put Uncharted and Tomb Raider together because they both are shooter adventures, so they're both pretty much the same game. It's just one's male and one's female, so I'm going to join them together as one because they're kind of the same game. And then at number 3, I'm going to put Fat Princess. Fat Princess is amazing. If you haven't played it, play it. It is so good. It's like an indie developer game. It's quite well known, but it's not like a massive hit. It is absolutely brilliant. I'm not even going to tell you anything about it other than it's a big giant fat princess. You have 2 sides. You have to try to capture the princess, or sometimes you have to kill a certain amount of each side. There's different kind of scenarios you can play through. And basically, when your enemy kidnaps your princess to bring them back, you can actually fatten her up before, so it's a lot slower for them. So it's very funny, and the taunting and stuff in it is brilliant. So they're my 3, not in any order because I literally cannot put them in order because I like them all for different reasons, and they're all actually completely different games as well, strategy wise and play wise. So I can't put them in order, unfortunately. But they are the top 3 that I like. Well, /4. Well, you know what I mean. So this one is, what game have I played most? And it's a bit of a repeat of the other game, but Final Fantasy 7. Final Fantasy 7 I play at least once a year, which sounds like, oh, that's not long. The game is epically long, and when I play it, I make sure I play everything and I get everything, get all the secrets, and that can take months. It's not a game you would do in a week or 2. I mean, you could finish the game in a week or 2, but you wouldn't be able to do everything in it. There's so much in the game. So that would be the game I've played most, because I've literally played it at this stage over 25 times, I'd say, and that's complete run-throughs. So that would be definitely the game I've played most of. What game am I looking forward to? The closest game I'm looking forward to is Borderlands pre-sequel. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait. Next year, there's going to be the Tomb Raider reboot, the second one, and there's going to be Uncharted 4. So I'm really looking forward to them too. So that would be my games. So the game I mostly obsessed over when I played it. It's probably World of Warcraft because I literally remember, like, this is no joke. I literally remember sitting downstairs and there's four of us in our family, and all of us were sitting playing it. And we were like, "Oh, give me this, pass me that. Okay, let's go over here and do this. Oh, I just got this, got that." That was the most obsessed I've ever played a game because my whole family were on it, and we'd be working or whatever, and we'd all come home about 6, maybe 7 o'clock, and then we'd all be like, "Okay, yeah, we're going World of Warcraft just for an hour or two," and then it'd be like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I think that's what I'm most obsessed, and I think it's funnier because my whole family did it as well, which is not what you would usually hear. So I think that would have to be my most obsessed. And question 7 is the craziest thing I ever did for a game. Um, I'm gonna say for games in general, because for an actual game, I just always go in and buy it when it comes out, so it's pretty easy. And enter competitions and see if you win, but that's not really crazy. So what I would say is for overall games, as in to go somewhere to see a lot of games that I wanted to see and that I wanted to play and stuff that I would have no way of playing. The craziest thing I did was go to Cologne, Germany, to Gamescom, which isn't very crazy, but it was just kind of like, hey, I want to play a load of games. I want to go there, and they have this, that game, and they had a million games I wanted. So I was like, oh my god, why don't I just go to Germany and we can go to Gamescom? So me and my best friend, we hitched up. Hitched up? We didn't hitch up. We packed up and we decided, right, let's go to Germany. So we went to Germany, went to Cologne, there for 4 days, and we literally spent at least 8 hours every day queuing for games, playing games, food, obviously, to keep us going. Um, it was brilliant. It was well worth it. So that's probably the craziest thing I've done, which is literally leave my country to go play games. So it was good fun though. So question 8 is how long have I been playing games? This is kind of a hard one to answer. I mean, how long I've been playing games is in taking them seriously by myself and running through games myself was probably about 7 or 8, which was probably The Sims or Final Fantasy 7. I'm nearly sure it was probably Final Fantasy 7 first. But I've always played games since I was probably 3 or 4 because my uncle was always into games, my dad was into games, we had consoles in the house and stuff like that. And I played them, but it wouldn't be great. And I remember playing on the SNES and playing Sonic and stuff like that. So, like religiously by myself, 7 or 8. But I have actually been playing games probably since I was about 3 or 4. And question 9 is the first game you've ever played. I'm probably repeating myself a little bit here, but the first game that I remember ever playing is Sonic or Mario. I'm nearly sure was the first game I ever played. That or was a Shinobi. I think it was Neverland Golden Axe and stuff. So I'm nearly sure it was anything SNES related. I'm pretty sure I did play NES, but I just can't remember my first experience with NES. Whereas I remember first experience with SNES. So that was the first games. Okay, so favorite game developer. Now this is such a hard one. I love Square Enix, and to be in all honesty, it's probably Square Enix on the top because they run the new Tomb Raider, they run all the Final Fantasies I've played for years and stuff like that. But I do also like 2K games, and I also like Naughty Dog. So they would be my 3 top favorites, but my favorite would be Square Enix. Naughty Dog is Uncharted mainly, and The Last of Us. And they're brilliant games. I really like them. And who else says 2K games? Obviously, is Borderlands, and Borderlands as well. So what would say Square Enix to make it easy? So question 11 is: do I prefer male or female characters? And this might actually surprise people, but I prefer female characters. Now, most of the time I play as male because most of the games they just have male. And it depends on the game as well because sometimes I find that they just put a female character in for the sake of having a female character, and she's just typical girly girl running around, which there's nothing wrong with. But if you're running around with a gun and stuff, you're not going to be a girly girl, so it just doesn't make sense. But there are some badass women in games, and like Mass Effect 3, I like Shepard, the female Shepard, obviously. She's pretty badass. I really like her. I also like I can't remember her name now, but in Dragon Age 1 and 2, and in Origins, I think, or Inquisition, sorry. She's the witch with the purple long dress, and so I can't remember her name. It's completely gone in my head, but she's pretty badass as well. I like Metroid. She's a pretty badass character. I'm not too fond of the Metroid games, but I do like the character. Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, she is pretty kick-ass. She's pretty like emotionless, but other than that, she's pretty cool. So yeah, I do. I prefer female. Now, unfortunately, I play more as male, but that's because there's more males in the video game world, and most games you don't have a choice really. But I do actually prefer the female characters, and I mean proper female characters who are actually women and not little girls running around. So. And the final question, you're finally got to the end of the video. If I haven't lost you, thank you, but I probably have. But the final question then is best memory of a video game. Again, I'm repeating myself, but Final Fantasy VII. I've just the area death scene is absolutely amazing and heartbreaking, and like you spend this whole game and you're kind of getting to know her and you really like her, and then you go on this little date, well, optional date if you want, and you get to really know her, and then the whole story is better and it all comes together, and then she's literally just impaled by a massive long katana sword, and the way the death is done and the way they rest her body after and stuff like that is just so well done, and it's genuinely heartbreaking. And then it turns out that she was the person who saved the world in the end. So she's kind of the hero of the whole game. It was just brilliant, and the reaction that the main character Cloud has and stuff like that, it was very, very well done, and I genuinely was heartbroken. And then to top it all off, the ending film, I always remember exactly where I was sitting, exactly what I was doing, watching the end film of Final Fantasy VII, thinking, oh my god, I completed it. And at the time, I had two other friends who hadn't completed it, and it was just more like, ha, I did it before you, and they wouldn't believe me until I actually told them what was the ending, and then they had to go, at the time YouTube had just come out, and like it was all more written up as opposed to seeing it, and they literally had to check it out for themselves, and they were like, oh my god, yeah, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I told you, I did get to the end. So that was my best memory of a video game, and it's my favourite memory ever. So and the only game actually that has managed to get me that close with emotion, it's probably The Last of Us, because it's a very, very good game. But even at that, it didn't compare. It doesn't have the same nostalgia and everything. So, but thanks for watching, guys. And that was my video. That was my video game tag. So hopefully more people will find me through here, and I'll find more people who are into video games and stuff like that, because that is what my channel's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a bit of everything, but it's supposed to be mainly video gaming. So thanks a million for watching, guys. And as usual, link, like, and subscribe down below. Leave me comments. Let me know. I'm a rhymer. I'm a poet. I didn't know. Bye, guys.